You're scrolling through dating apps when you spot the perfect match. Charming, witty, intellectually stimulating. 3 months later, you're questioning reality itself, drowning in mixed signals and confusion. If this sounds familiar, you might be experiencing Gemini energy at its most toxic. Before we dive in, let's preview what's coming. 5 specific toxic patterns that can turn Gemini charm into relationship chaos. We'll cover the shapeshifter who changes personalities weekly, the conversation hijacker who makes everything about them, the intellectual manipulator who questions your every thought, the emotionally inconsistent partner who's hot one day and cold the next, and the promise maker who never follows through. Plus, I'll give you practical tools to spot these red flags early and handle each situation effectively. This isn't about attacking Geminis. Every sign has shadow behaviors. This is about recognizing patterns that can damage your mental health and relationships, regardless of what's written in the stars. Geminis are ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication and the mythological trickster god. This duality isn't just an astrology meme. It creates real psychological patterns that can leave partners feeling like they're dating a magic 8-ball that only gives confusing answers. These behaviors aren't obvious red flags. They're subtle, often appearing charming initially, then slowly eroding your confidence and sanity. Think of them as relationship fog. By the time you realize you're lost, you can barely see how you got there. Habit number 1. The identity shapeshifter. Monday, your partner preaches minimalism while sipping black coffee from a plain mug. Wednesday, they're obsessed with maximalist decor, ordering vintage trinkets online. Friday, they claim they've always been a conscious consumer with consistent habits. You're left wondering if you're dating one person or 3. This goes beyond changing preferences. We're talking fundamental shifts in values, personality traits, and core beliefs. One week, they're extroverted party planners. The next, they insist they've always been introverted homebodies who value deep connections over superficial socializing. The toxic element? They genuinely believe each version is authentic, making it impossible to address. Challenge them, and they'll respond with sincere confusion. I don't know what you mean. I've always been this way. Now you're questioning your own memory and perception. Red flags to watch for. Dramatic personality shifts every few weeks, inability to acknowledge previous contradictory statements, making you feel crazy for pointing out inconsistencies. How to handle it? Keep a journal of their statements and behaviors. When patterns emerge, address them calmly with specific examples. If they continue gaslighting you about their inconsistencies, that's your cue to protect your mental health by setting firm boundaries or leaving. Habit number 2. The conversation hijacker. You start sharing about your stressful day, seeking support. Before you finish explaining how your boss's behavior affected you, they've jumped in. Oh my god, that reminds me of when my boss... 20 minutes later, you're listening to their work drama from 3 years ago. They sprinkle in just enough "I totally understand" to seem supportive while completely centering themselves. They're conversational magicians. You came to share your experience, but end up being the audience for their one-person show. This pattern slowly teaches you that your experiences matter less than theirs. You start self-editing before speaking, eventually stopping attempts to be heard altogether. Red flags to watch for. Consistently interrupting your stories, relating everything back to themselves, you feeling unheard after conversations meant to be about your experiences. How to handle it? Use the pause and redirect technique. When they interrupt, say, "Hold that thought, I wasn't finished sharing." If they continue hijacking, have a direct conversation about needing balanced dialogue. Partners who care will adjust their behavior. Habit number 3, the intellectual manipulator. You mention enjoying a movie. Instead of accepting your opinion, they launch into elaborate explanations of why it's problematic, citing obscure film theory and directors you've never heard of. Your favorite restaurant becomes a lecture about derivative concepts. Your career goals get analyzed as following societal expectations rather than authentic desires. They frame this as helping you grow intellectually or think deeper, systematically dismantling every opinion you express. You begin feeling intellectually inferior, becoming the student to their self-appointed professor role. Red flags to watch for. Every opinion you share gets corrected or analyzed. You start hesitating before expressing preferences, feeling intellectually inadequate in conversations. How to handle it. Practice the phrase, "That's an interesting perspective, but I still enjoy, believe, prefer this." You don't need to defend your tastes or thoughts. If they can't respect your right to have different opinions, they're not respecting you as an equal partner. Habit number 4. The emotional availability yo-yo. One night, they're writing you 2 a.m. poetry about soul connections. The next time you try discussing something vulnerable, they respond like a customer service robot. "That sounds really hard," becomes their generic response to everything from job loss to family emergencies. They don't seem aware they're doing it. Question the emotional distance, and they'll look confused, maybe defensive. "What do you mean? I asked about your day." Yes, with the enthusiasm of someone asking if you want fries with your order. This inconsistency creates addictive cycles where you chase moments of deep connection like an emotional gambler, overanalyzing interactions to find the magic formula for their presence. Red flags to watch for. Emotional availability that fluctuates wildly. Generic responses to your vulnerable shares. You feeling like you have to earn their emotional attention. How to handle it? Communicate your needs clearly. When I share something important, I need you to be present and engaged, not just polite. If they can't maintain consistent emotional availability, consider whether this relationship meets your needs for connection and support. This extends beyond date nights to fundamental relationship commitments. They'll promise to support your work presentation, then arrive 30 minutes late with coffee and casual apologies. Meanwhile, they move mountains helping coworkers and friends, saving their flakiness specifically for you. Red flags to watch out for. Enthusiastic planning followed by zero follow-through. Different standards of reliability for you versus others. You feeling like you can't count on them for important moments. How to handle it? Stop making plans based on their promises. Judge them by consistent actions, not exciting words. Set clear expectations. If you commit to this, I need you to follow through. If you're unsure, please say so up front instead of promising and disappearing. Your action plan. If you're seeing these patterns, here's what you can do. Start documenting behaviors instead of questioning your perception. Set clear boundaries about conversation balance, emotional consistency, and follow-through. Communicate your needs directly rather than hoping they'll intuitively understand. Most importantly, remember that you can't fix someone else's toxic patterns. You can only control how you respond to them. Healthy relationships require consistency, mutual respect, and reliable emotional presence. Don't settle for cosmic chaos when you deserve genuine connection. If someone shows you through repeated actions that they can't provide the stability and respect you need, believe them. Your mental health and happiness matter more than any Zodiac compatibility chart ever will.